welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Erin, and this is the third episode of my new Homemaker Mini Series. Last week we chatted about inventory management and decluttering our homes until we can see the homemaking rhythm coming through. For me, the first rhythm I noticed was being able to meal plan. I have never once been able to stick to or create a meal plan in my life. Looking back, I can see this is partly because I was trying to plan every single meal and snack for 7 days at a time. Turns out nobody needs a unique or complicated new oatmeal recipe every morning. Cooking oats in bulk and changing the toppings if you want to is just fine. So is having frozen sausage and English muffins for fast breakfast sandwiches. Unless there's a new recipe I want to try, our day-to-day breakfasts and lunches are leftovers or things I can cook without a recipe. I do try to have pancakes on Sundays though, and throw a few in the freezer for snacks and breakfasts later on. Another reason I couldn't stick to meal planning is that the state of my house and kitchen were a barrier to the actual cooking. This is why, for me, inventory management had to come first. When the kitchen inventory is lower, there are physically less dishes to pile up in the sink, less items in the pantry blocking the ones you really need, and less spatulas getting stuck every time you open the utensil drawer. I think you get what I'm saying. Currently, I only plan dinners for the work week. Usually 1 or 2 of those don't end up happening because, life gets lifey, and they become weekend meals or roll over to be used during the following week. I plan for the next week on Wednesday or Thursday so I can get groceries on Friday and not have to think about it all weekend. Then when Monday rolls around, I'm ready to go. I have groceries for food I know I will actually cook. I have a lot less produce going bad in my fridge, and a lot less random items in my pantry that seemed like a good idea when I didn't have a plan. When I look ahead to plan meals, I look at the calendar for the next week. My week usually has a predictable structure. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have more time for dinner and make bigger meals that provide leftovers for the next day or two. Tuesdays and Thursdays are busier days, and also evenings when I try to have solo mama time to, decompress, recover, create, just rest. These are my low prep or no prep days. Thank you. Can you put the horsey back? Where's the horsey? Yes, right. Line his toes up. Put his feet with his feet. Yes. There it is. So, I do pasta on Mondays, which is a broad category. There can be a lot of variety within that. Tuesdays started out as Taco Tuesdays, but are now anything Latin American or from the US Southwest. Wednesdays are food adventure days, since I usually have more time. Maybe Chinese, Japanese, Ethiopian. This week was North African, but you'll see that in next week's video. Thursdays are no prep meals, like pizza, nuggets, steam buns, anything that all we have to do is heat it up. Friday is using up the fridge and pantry, maybe a stir fry or a root roast. One night a week, I will try out a new recipe, or one that's a little more complicated. It will be whichever day I have less going on. I try to stay flexible, and I opt out if the week is just too much. Out of 15 meals for the work week, only 5 are planned, and only 1 is new or unfamiliar. If you're new to meal planning and wanting to give it a try, my advice is to be really honest with yourself about what season of life you're in. Are you working full-time, maybe feeling burnt out and tired? Are you a new or even a veteran parent with your hands full and a busy schedule? These are not seasons of life for big new meals every night. Start with food you don't need to look up how to prepare. Maybe that's buttered noodles. Maybe that's just toast. That's okay. It's a foundation to build on. Then, if you have a day of the week with a little more bandwidth, try a new simple recipe. Don't jump into meal planning with 5 complicated, stressful, or even just new recipes every week. Keep it simple. Hopefully you enjoyed this little peek into how I plan our meals and maybe found a little inspiration from it. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll see you again soon.